if a car comes the other way, I have to get right off the side into the gravel. All country roads were like this at one time, and Western Australia has done an amazing job to get most roads two-way, whereas this is what we call one-way. A bit of a backtrack to the main highway, so I'm just trusting my instinct a little bit here. Not even using Google Maps. I've got my paper map. I'm on my way to a tiny little place called Konikin, and they have a campground, and then they've got a rock. So I will take you with me to explore it. Let's go and look at the campground. Down this way. You're not allowed to collect firewood, and it's all gravel road. So I'll just be taking this very slowly and check out the campground, then come back and we'll go and see the rock, granite rock, which is sight to behold, so they say. Can't go past without checking it out at least once, is my thought, and I've got time, so this is a well-worn road by the look of it. It's not actually a lot of, it's quite firm gravel. It'd be pretty slippery in the wet. Oh no, there is bitumen there. It's very thin. So the campground is a little bit basic, let's call it that. But we will have a look. And you're allowed to free camp here for 72 hours in any 28-day period. And there's an information sheet there. No campfires at the campgrounds. Well, this is pretty cool, and there's a camper here as well. So I will just do a loop and then go out to the rock, have a bit of a look, might have a chat to the campers. Looks like a caravan. A couple of them actually. Still a pretty good place. There's a bit of shade. I think I saw on the site that there's toilets. So yeah, check it out. Awesome toilets. Proper toilets. Looks like there's wastewater opportunity as well. Looks like you have to bring your own water and bring your own power. But there's a sign over there that goes through all the different wildflowers. So this will be an amazing place to come during wildflower season. And I would suggest that it would be packed with campers, because there's a lot of walk trails and that as well. So I wonder how you get out. So there's down there for free camping, down this way for caravanning. Wow, it's really big. I'm not sure how many it would hold, but it would be a lot. Rubbish bins everywhere. There's another caravan. Rubbish bins everywhere. Just here at the information bay at the campgrounds, and there's some very, very interesting things here about the Granite Way, it's called. So I'm just gonna flip it over and show you. So this board is about Land of Promise and about the Granite Way and the history 45,000 years ago right through. And 1829, the Swan River Colony, which is later called Perth, is founded. And that's an interesting photo of Perth. And then 1830, Ensign Dale sets out from the Avon Valley with 6 volunteers to explore the unknown east. So that's other Perth people back in the day. The first colony. And then 1836, John Septimus Roe, Surveyor General of the colony, describes the Granite Way, which is where we are here. There's a photo. So there's so many granite outcrops in this whole district. Then in the 1850s, the sandalwood cutters, the free roaming traders for the Asian market were around. There's a photo. And then pastoral releases started in this district 1860. 1863, Henry Maxwell Lefroy carries out specific brief from the York Agricultural Society. And a notable Aboriginal explorer, Cowich, is acclaimed for his contribution to the expedition as well. It's a photo of the expedition troop, I guess you'd call them. So this is a wheat farming picture that starts around 1908 in this region, established for agriculture, where there's water in the outcrops, and there's sort of picnic areas of today. On the road to Cockerman Rock, and just got sight of it's about 10 k's from the main road, very basic road, but it is bitumised. A lot of bird life out here, and we've got first view of Cockerman Rock, the third biggest monolith in Australia, I believe. So yeah, see, a monolith is a single rock, I think that's correct. I know Ayers Rock is a monolith, and Mount Augustus is a monolith, and so this is West Australians, southwestern Australians' biggest monolith. Starting to get a bit of a understanding of how big it is, because I'm still quite a few kilometres away, I believe. But yeah, this will be interesting to check. Here at Cockerman Rock Nature Reserve, which offers so much to see, and a very, very long walk, 6-kilometre walk around the rock, something like that. So you can see it behind me there. It's such a awesome looking sight to see this, and I'm literally here on my own. So I'm really hoping to see the black-flanked rock wallaby, which is an endangered species, and they're very, very cute, but I don't know how far I'll get, see how my knee goes, but I'm going to head off shortly on the trail, just right behind me, and then later on use the lovely toilets that are there. I think they're long drops, and then the luncheon area, picnic area. It's a very well looked after reserve and very well attended by the conservation and land management people. No animals allowed here at all, pets I mean, because they're worried about the endangered species, but a lot of she oaks here with their beautiful spooky noise and beautiful, beautiful plants. So heading off now. This is just massive. Very hard to describe the awesomeness of it, and it absorbs all the sound. And 260 million years ago, where it first formed in the Earth's crust, to today, with the gradual erosion of water against the formation, it's a wave, and it's part of the granite way. There's a couple of places where there's rocks that are formed like a wave. So this one is magnificent, and the colours. I'd love to know that. Hopefully along this track there'll be information about the Indigenous stories related to this. But yeah, it's incredible. Incredible. I'm very wowed. I'm on the lookout for those rock wallabies. Absolutely magnificent. The structure of it all and the colours. Amazing. You know, how are those rocks sitting there without falling down? It's incredible. A little bit mind-blowing actually. And so far, no little rock wallabies. But they're the types of places that they hide or shelter in those little crevices underneath those rocks. Those are the types of places to find them. Apparently, maybe that's more in the evening. Amazing. Even just this one in front on the footpath. The path goes all the way around, just in a circle, taking in the outer edges. Well, that's high enough for me. I can see for miles and miles and miles. Not at the summit. I'm being very cautious because I'm here on my own, and when you go up, you know you got to come down. There's no rails or anything, so I reckon that's enough for me. Amazing experience. Just standing here, actually leaning against one of the rocks. It's massive, in the shade, having a little rest before I embark on going back down. You know what's occurred to me during this climb is how many others before me and then after me will walk this track. Do you ever think about that? You know, how many thousands and thousands of years ago did Indigenous Australians walk this journey? And was this a sacred space? Was it women's business, men's business? I'm yet to find out. But it's truly spectacular, and it's basically in Perth's backyard. Inexcusable that I didn't know about it. I got to this age and never literally heard of it. So I'm embarrassed to say that. But it's absolutely spectacular, and wouldn't be dead for quids. On this little track, it's not quite a goat track. It's a bit better than that, just approaching a historical well. There's a sign coming up. But yeah, it's a decent size well that we'll find out about. But see it already. Yeah, don't lean over, don't tread on the edge, all those rules. Pretty amazing though. Man-made, of course. Oof. I always get scared when I put my phone over something like that that's going to fall down. Oh, no. Amazing. And there's the inlet, because there'd be so much water coming off the big rock. And here's our little picnic area for a rest. The well at Konikin Rock is an impressive example of a dry stone wall construction built by hand in the early 1900s, similar to the others in the region that were established by pioneering drovers to stock water. John Forrest in June 1905, I've never known any white man equal as a companion in the bush. It is impossible for them to lose themselves. A horse couldn't stray without their being able to find it. They at once noted everything they saw, such as the flight of birds, tracks of aboriginals and wild animals, and other minute details, with wonderful accuracy, and could readily find water if there was any existence to be found. Interesting. In his journal, Lefroy described harsh landscapes where plants are typically stunned and unthriving from the intense heat and dryness of summer. And the Australian plants are in fact well adapted to these conditions. Many species have spiny or small leaves, woody stems and fruits, dry bristly flower heads to minimise water loss and use nutrients efficiently, like this one here. So this one is the branchlets of the rock she-oak. This is the sour bush, and these are the wattles. Here's a photo of the Burren Rock School near Merredin. So that's nice, they've supplied that. Return journey always feels longer. Do you feel like that with most things? But I don't mind the longer when it's around these amazing granite rocks formations. It's truly amazing. Loving it. I've seen lots of birds flying past, but in a screaming hurry, so I can't identify them. Bigger birds, so there may well be a kite or something. Yeah, anyway, so I don't know what they were, but even from this spot, look at the view. You can see for such a long way. You can see all the farms and trees. And it's quite hilly in this area, this region. So yeah, it's worth exploring if you've not been out here before. It's worth making your way out here, having a bit of a poke around and get the vibration of it all. It's really, really powerful and grounding, and really makes me realise, you know, how insignificant in a way I am, because, you know, these rocks, 2 million years or something, and, you know, that 64,000 years or whatever that the Indigenous, I'm sorry if I've got the facts wrong, that the Indigenous have been round, and these have been here the whole time. So, and they'll still be here long, long time after I've gone. So it really has me consider life and the awesomeness of nature, and just the adaptability of nature. You know, poor old rock wallabies from here have been very close to being made extinct due to foxes that were introduced by a white man for sport. So it's, you know, they were Australia-wide now, and they're an absolute pest, and they very bad for stock, for farmers, very bad even in the cities. They come in and eat people's chickens and whatnot. So I believe they're quite bad in Melbourne, and certainly make their way to most places in Australia. Now, a lot of our species wouldn't have suffered had it not been for things that we've introduced. Another one was rabbits. We introduced rabbits, and yeah, we've even had to put up a rabbit-proof fence, which I passed by yesterday, to try and keep them out. Didn't work, and they introduced disease to them called myxomatosis. Didn't work, so we've still got them. They're everywhere. They're a pest. Wild rabbits I'm talking about. But yeah, they weren't native. But these little critters were. Little beautiful creatures, and we want them to stay that way. So if you do come here, leave it as you find it. If you have any rubbish, take it with you. Don't bring your pets, because the animal waste attracts the foxes. So yeah, need to think about all this stuff, look it all up. And just by the way, all throughout this walk I've seen there's tiny little pathways, and I'm assuming they're rock wallaby tracks that they've made. Not a goat track, a wallaby track.